You guys had a lot of opportunities to ask me, as Bob said, you had opportunities to ask me questions last week. Nobody asked me any.
Now it's next season. Now we got you.
Hit it.
What's this process? How have you evolved in this process? Or has it changed that much? And then Kellen and Vic and you sort of bringing them into it.
Every year you do something, you go through, what could we do better? What could we do better? What wasn't quite good enough? So the process always changes. Like you're always in the business of perfecting the process. It's never set. And so, I had one year like, hey, I wanted to push it a little bit more and get a couple more reps in 7-on-7. Then a couple guys got hurt, and then my next notes in 2022 said, hey, pull back a little bit from that. So it's like you're always in this search of having a good process, and that's just what you go through at the end. But there's some similarities. It's different. These guys are not in football shape, right? These guys were training to run a 40. These guys were training to run the combine drills. They weren't training all this time to be football players, right? And then some of the guys were on a lot of 30 visits, right? And so we would have never asked our players to go out, our veterans to go out without any preparation into just full go practice, right? You ease into it. And so I think that's the thing you always have to guard yourself against a little bit is, man, I want to do more. I want to see these guys a little bit more, get this guy a touch, get that guy a touch. And it's just, it's making sure you're not doing too much early on while still getting an ability to get an evaluation on the guys that are here, that you drafted, that are undrafted free agents, that are tryout guys, stuff like that.
This week, are you going to look at him at guard?
We obviously have a lot of time to figure out who our guys are. The top 5 guys are in. He's played tackle, obviously, as everybody knows, and he'll start there, and then we'll see what happens.
What was the first impression that you had of some of these guys out there today?
Yeah, it's just fun to get out. First thing you're thinking is how do we knock the rust off of ourselves? We haven't coached on the field for a while. So you're thinking like, all right, making sure everything's right there, and then get to be able to watch these guys, and so yeah, you get good impressions. I had some guys in there that I'm like, man, that looked really good. I'm gonna hold back on saying this guy or that guy because it's only one day, but that's you guys kind of interrupted me. I was up there watching tape, and I had to come down and talk to you, so I wanted to see a little bit more, but you get to see it out there live. And it's just exciting to get out there and work again. But there's definitely guys that you saw out there. They're like, okay, that's the burst I saw on tape. That's the little move right there I saw on tape. And so that's exciting. And so you definitely get excited about, being back on the field, first of all, and secondly, the guys that we have, because we're really excited to work with these guys.
How have you gone about connecting with Vic since he hired him?
Yeah, just the same as I try to do with everybody else. Of finding that common denominator of what you have in common, and talking to him about that. I know this about Vic. We have in common that we love football, right? And so we get to be able to talk a lot about football. And so some of it's getting to know each other just that way. As far as our football discussions, right? Situational discussions, taking the ball away discussions. And so, and then it's trying to find different ways. He's been at both cheesesteak runs that we made, now he knows all the good cheesesteak places. I get it. He's from here. But just different things like that. I'm assuming, I know how big of a Phillies fan Vic is. We haven't been to a Phillies game together, but I'm imagining that that's going to happen at some point. But again, it's similar ways that you try to do with players, find that common bond that you have and kind of latch on with that.
How important is it to get a guy like Jalix, for example, around like some of the veterans when they come in, and the other rookies as well, but particularly someone like him does have a whole lot of experience.
Yeah, I mean, goodness, he gets to be around BG, right, and that's huge, right? Just like it was for Cam to be around Jason, and just like it was for Jordan and Jalen to be around Fletch. So it's going to be the same thing there. So really looking for it, and the same thing is going to be for Trevor to be around Lane and Jordan. And so Yeah, that's a huge advantage, right? To get them around these guys, get them, you know, it's not only that person at that position, it's getting them emerged into the culture, right? Our culture is our behaviors, what you do every single day, over and over and over again. So it's good, it's exciting that they're here. Now they're not here with some, you know, with the veterans right now, but they're emerged in it. What was really cool in my mind was that AJ was out there today, and that Jordan Mailata was out there today. You know, AJ giving up coaching points. Jordan Mailata was, I got in here this morning, he was in here for the team meeting, and then he went to the O-line meeting this morning just to be there with those guys. I mean, that's special, right? That's a connection that these guys are willing to put that time in to be around our rookies, see what they're made of, and just be there for them. And so I'm excited for these guys to all get immersed into the culture, and it was cool to see our veterans do that today.
Just have time for one more.
I'll take two more.
Okay.
Yeah, we can kind of filter in.
You heard a lot about Quinyon from Mount Union guys. Getting a chance to see him, what stuck out to you finally?
You know, again, he had, you know, we had limited reps today. I get to see him go through drills. You saw the burst and the quickness that we saw on tape of why we drafted him in the first round. Made a couple nice plays on the ball today. You know, out there with some 7-on-7 speed. And so, you know, just excited to see him out there on the field and competing. And yeah, I mean, again, limited reps today, but, you know, you did see the quickness and the burst and the acceleration.
What is flexibility is him and Cooper? What were y'all trying to get done in the secondary in the offseason? How do they address that?
Yeah, you know, Cooper has obviously versatility. You know, Quinyon has big play ability. They both have big play ability. You know, obviously we're not to a point where this guy's playing here or that guy's playing here or this guy's limited to just this. We're just out there right now, getting some reps out there and seeing where they fit. Go ahead, one more.
I was going to say, you mentioned Trevor learning from Jordan and Lane. Is there maybe some tackles in his future? You didn't mention Landon.
Okay, and Landon. Yeah, and Landon.
When it comes to, it's going to be a week, first couple of days can be overwhelming at times when it comes to for some of these rookies and everything. What's your messaging to them overall? They're basically, when you're basically throwing them into the deep end at some point.
Just get immersed into the culture. Just get immersed into the culture. Start to, you know, we can go over our core values, what they are, what they mean, how we do it, but until we start doing it, your culture is just your behaviors. And until we start doing those things, you know, they're just words on the wall. And so it's just getting immersed into the culture, right? And part of that is the detail, right? And understanding what to do and how to do it. And, you know, just diving into that every day. Yeah, it's a lot. Rookie minicamp, though, it's new words for all these guys. It's new language, all these different things. But remember, rookie minicamp, we're not throwing them the whole book, right? We are really pulling back because in my mind, it's really more important to see what they can do as opposed to what they know, because they're not going to know much right now, right? It's too fresh, it's too new. So keep Kellen kept the inventory down, Vic kept the inventory down, Coach Clay kept the inventory down, so we can go out there and see their movements, watch them, especially those tryout guys. You don't want to flood them because you want to see what they can do. You know, they're here for a tryout, and that wouldn't be fair to them to make them learn everything, and then they can't play fast. So, they're not swimming yet, is what I'm saying. And if they tell you they're swimming yet right now, they're not. It's not to that point yet. And so they're not swimming yet. It's just fun to be out there and watching them roll.